Hi, everybody. Time for your week 8 wake up call in Humanities 103. Boy, I cannot believe that nearly half of the semester is over. All right, here's what your course schedule looks like for this week. You really have a couple of things to turn in. First of all, is the midterm quiz, which I will talk about in just a minute. And you also have a progress report for your last major assignment, your novel analysis. I'll cover that in a second, too. Here's the course module for this week. You have 2 readings and a video. So I'd like you to read that paper. It's fairly short. It's Structural Parallels in 2 Flood Myths. And it's comparing the Genesis account of the flood, which most of you are very familiar with, to a very similar Maori flood myth, and really thinking about what might account for the structural similarities between those 2 myths. There's a short video that gives you a good overview and summary of the Epic of Gilgamesh. Please look at that. And then I'd like you to read, this will be tablet 11, of the Epic of Gilgamesh, which is the flood story. If you've never heard of or read any of the Epic of Gilgamesh before, you're really in for a treat. It was written a long, long time ago, so it's maybe a little bit tricky or hard to read, but please stick with it. It's fascinating when you really get into how similar the flood myth is in the Epic of Gilgamesh compared to the Noah's Ark story, which we are so familiar with. There's the link that will take you to the midterm quiz and the link that will allow you to post your novel analysis progress report. All right, quite a few of you have already posted this, which is great, but just to refresh your memory, by now you definitely should have gotten the novel that you are reading for this project. So please just give me a very short little report. Tell me the title of the book that you are reading, who the author is, if you've encountered any problems at all in procuring it or understanding it. And, please let me know so we can get things cleared up right at the beginning here. And just let me know how much you've already done. And you know what? If you haven't started reading it, that's okay too. You still have 8 weeks to go. But remember, this is not one of those projects that you can just wrap up the book, and then whip out an analysis paper. That paper is going to take you some thought and some time and some concentration to do. So let's get going on that. So here's the midterm quiz. It consists of 21 questions, which are a variety of short answer, fill in the blank, true, false, multiple choice. There are 43 points possible, and the quiz covers just information from the readings from weeks 1 through 8. So that includes the readings from this week. That paper on the Genesis and Maori stories and the Epic of Gilgamesh. It does not cover any information in the videos because that would just be too difficult to go back and look up. So this is essentially an open book quiz. You are absolutely free to go back and look things up. You probably, in fact, I'm going to say you absolutely will need to have 2 tabs open. So to be able to, toggle back and forth between the quiz and the readings. Or it might be easy for you to have your laptop open to the quiz and your phone open to the course site so that you can access the readings. But figure out kind of ahead of time how to do that. So only use those readings. Don't go looking for any outside sources for the answers. And I'll tell you why. It's just a really practical reason, because we talked about this at the beginning of the semester. There are so many different scholars, different translations, different versions of myths, different ideas about myths, that the ones that we are studying in this course may be very different from what, somebody on Google has said. And so we are sticking this semester, for our purposes, for what is posted in this course site. Okay, so we're just trying to keep it simple. So there you go. The quiz is available from midnight on Wednesday, that's the 13th, all the way through the end of the day on Sunday, the 17th. So at any time during that period, you can log on. You will have 3 hours to finish the quiz. Once you start, though, you have to finish it up. So you can't just log on and do a couple of questions and then, log off and then come back to it later on. You have to dedicate a period of time when you have a good internet connection and start to finish to do the quiz. Let's see. I guess that's all I have to tell you about that. If you have any questions before you start, please post them in the Ask the Instructor discussion thread so we can get those cleared up for people. The last thing this week is that I have to submit midterm grades at the end of the day on Wednesday. Now, midterm grades are nothing more than just a snapshot of everything you've done so far this semester in this class. It doesn't represent 50% of your final grade. In fact, you still have 2 major assignments to turn in and lots more work. So really, you're going to be accruing far more points in the second half of the semester than you did in the first. So just keep that in mind when you see your midterm grade posted. And also, because of the time period, the midterm grade will not include your midterm quiz score. That will end up being part of your final grade at the end of the semester. All right, so like I said, if you have any questions, please let me know, and good luck on the quiz.